Hi, this is Iram and you are watching my YouTube channel Chem Tracks by IGM. In our previous lecture, we just discussed the classification of elements into three main classes that are metals, non-metals, and metalloids. These elements were classified by Revisor into metals, non-metals by studying their properties. Yeah, we also studied that this classification is based on the difference of the properties of metals and non-metal. So let's discuss their properties, and we are starting with the properties of metal. Metals have many important properties. The first property is basically, our first feature of metal is their position or their proportion in the periodic table. Most of the elements in periodic tables are metals. Almost 80% of elements in periodic table are metals. It means the major proportion of periodic table is consist of metallic elements or metals. Some are shown here in the sky blue color to the left side of the periodic table. Yes, you can see from the periodic table sky blue color, all sky blue color showing the presence of metal, and it means the major portion of periodic table is consist of metals. Second property or second feature of metal is their appearance. The metals have shiny appearance. They show a metallic luster. Due to their shiny appearance, they can be used in jewelry and decorations. Particularly gold and silver are widely used for jewelry. In the old days, mirrors were made up of shiny metals like silver. Silver is very good reflector of light. It reflects about 90% of the light falling on it. All modern mirrors contain a thin coating of metals. It means due to their shiny appearance, we have very wide use of metals like silver and gold in decoration, jewelry, and in mirror formation. So the next thing is, this is very important properties. Metals are good conductor of electricity. Electrical conductivity in metal is a result of the movement of electrically charged particles. It is these free electron that allows metals to conduct an electric current. Basically, these electrically charged particles are free electrons that are freely moving in the metallic lattice, and they are basically responsible for the conduction of electric current or transfer of electric current from the one end of battery to the another end. Because valence electron are free to move, they can travel through the lattice, and that forms the physical structure of metal. Also, you can see from the diagram there is a small with each positive metallic atom there is a small electron, and electron is because electron is so small in their mass, so they are just a small dot. They are showing electron by just a small dot, and this small dot is traveling from the negative end of the battery to the positive end of the battery. Because these small dots are electrons and they are free to move, so they're basically responsible for the conduction of electric current from the negative end to the positive end. Similarly, metals are good conductors of heat. Metals contain free moving delocalized electrons. Metal is good conductor of heat. Conduction occurs when a substance is heated. Particles will gain more energy. When particles will gain more energy, they will start vibration, and when the heat is increasing or we continually heating the particles, they show more vibrations, and these vibrations are basically responsible for the transfer of heat. Because these vibrations transfer heat from hot particles to the colder particles or to the colder part of the metal piece. These molecules then bump into the nearby particles and transfer some of energy into the next particles or into the neighboring particles. Metals are malleable. Metals, on being hammered, can be beaten into thin sheets. This property is called as malleability. Most metals are malleable. Gold and silver metal are the most malleable metals. They can be hammered or shaped into very fine sheets. Similarly, aluminium is also very malleable metal, and it can be converted into thin sheets or aluminium foil by the pressure or by the action of some force. Thin aluminium foils are widely used for safe wrapping of medicines, chocolates, and food material. Similarly, metals are ductile. Wires are made from copper, aluminium, iron, and magnesium. This property of drawing the metals into the thin wire is called ductility. Most metals are ductile, and the in wire formation, the most common metal that is used to make the wires or electrical wires, that is copper. Metals are strong and tough. Metals such as iron are very strong, therefore, it is widely used in the construction of building, bridges, railway lines, carriages, vehicles, and machinery. As far as pure metal go, tungsten has the highest tensile strength with an ultimate strength of 1510 megapascal. So up till now, tungsten is the strongest metal or strongest element of the periodic table. Metals are magnetic. Metals are magnetic, but not all metals are magnetic. Some metals are magnetic, and when we place a magnet bar near the metals, they show attraction towards our metal particles attracted towards the magnet. For example, iron is magnetic, so any metal with iron in it will be attracted to a magnet. Steel contain iron, so steel will be attracted to a magnet. Most other metal, for example aluminium, copper, gold, are not magnetic. Metals are sonorous. Metals are generally sonorous. The word sonorous mean sound producing. Sonorous is basically originated from the sonic. So metals are generally sonorous. That is they make a ringing sound when struck. Therefore, they are used for making the bells. Metal wires are used in musical instruments. High melting and boiling points. Metals have highest melting and boiling points because they have the strongest chemical bond, which are metallic. The strongest chemical bonds require the most energy to break apart, or it require more energy for boiling or for melting the metal, because metals contain the strongest chemical bond or strongest forces of attraction between the particles. Heat is measured in units of energy, so that is why the boiling point for metal require lot of heat or lot of energy for their breakdown. So as on the right side you can see there is silver, and melting point of silver is 980 degrees centigrade. Similarly, copper is also a strong metal, and its melting point is about 1090 degrees centigrade. So metals have high melting and boiling point due to their or greater attraction forces. Metals are dense, or metals have high density. Metals have high density and are very heavy because the arrangement of particles in metal are very tightly packed. Due to this arrangement, they are very dense in nature and they are heavy. Iridium and osmium have the highest densities, where the lithium has the lowest density. And between iridium and osmium is the more dense element of the planet Earth up till now. There is another very attractive feature of metal, that is the alloys formation. An alloy is a combination of metal or metals combined with one or more other elements. Maybe they can combine with other metals, or in some cases metals also combined with another non-metal to form an alloy. Metal form alloy when they are mixed with other metals and sometimes non-metals. And for example, stainless steel. A stainless steel is a iron alloy that is made up of mixture of iron, chromium, and steel. Iron, chromium, and sorry, carbon. So carbon is non-metal, while iron and chromium are the metal. So we can say that alloys are also formed by the combination of metal with non-metals. So these are some properties of metals, and these are some feature of metals that differ from the non-metals or metalloid, on the basis of which we classified metal as another class of elements. I hope you will enjoy the lecture. Goodbye.